Hey guys, it's Brad from Team Crimson here. This is...
Zach, the awesome or the great, whatever you prefer.
He forgot his name. And this is...
Matthew the Magician. I saw her.
Shut up. Arrow reference.
Arrow reference.
I'm just hearing this for the first time. So. So right now we are going to be bringing you the G Extra Booster 2, the Awakening Zoo. All the zoo clans you wanted get support.
Lame.
I don't hear anyone. Anyways, no, surprisingly, a lot of them are good. So we're gonna go ahead and discuss these guys. First, we'll be starting off with. We're first off, I should say we're not covering the Zeroth Dragon because I already talked about it. Maybe we'll talk about it at the end of the video or something to kind of get some more viewpoints in here. But we'll also be talking about only the triple R's and the GRs of the set, which there's 3 GRs of the set for all 3 clans. Isn't that nice of them? But we'll first be starting off with Great Nature, and you want to start that off, Matt?
Yes, the triple rare, the grade 2 Artistic Ocelot. This is the skill. It's Vanguard rearguard once turn. When this unit attacks, choose up to one of your other rearguards. It gets 4,000 power until end of turn. And at the end of that turn, retire that unit. Then it's got an act for rearguard once per turn, G-break 1. Counterblast 1 if you have a Vanguard with Big Belly in its card name. Choose one of your other rearguards. It gets 4,000 until end of turn. And at the end of that turn, draw a card and retire that unit.
Pretty beast grade 2, actually.
Yeah, my thoughts on that card is it will help out Great Nature a lot with the success happening to reach 20,000 power.
Well, obviously, yeah, how they work is adding power usually up to a certain amount for that success ability.
Usually 20,000, yeah. For success.
So, obviously, adding the 4,000 is pretty nice. It helps out with that, just that. But, and then having the ability, it works in tandem with obviously Big Belly, and I know he's like the big bad one for Great Nature now, the grade 3.
Yeah, it's I think it's a super solid card for probably easily a 3 to 4 of in the deck. We're not too familiar on Great Nature. That's actually the clan that we least know about. I've faced it a couple times. Mad respect to anyone who plays it, and it's a very good deck. And this one definitely will add to it, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it's alright. It's a good card.
Alright, we'll go ahead and just
Next
move on.
The grade 3 for the set, the triple rare. It's Astute or Professor Big Belly. I don't know how to read that. But
Astute.
A student.
No.
Okay, so its skill is auto Vanguard rearguard circle. It's a success for the 20,000. And then it's got another skill for Vanguard circle once a turn. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, or when your G unit strides, choose up to one card from your hand, call it to rearguard, and it gets 4,000 power until end of turn. If you call the card until end of that turn, draw a card, or at the end of the turn, draw a card and retire the unit. And then it's got another skill, Vanguard or rearguard once per turn, GB1, counterblast 1 at the end of the battle that this unit attacked. If this unit is successful, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other rearguards, stand it, and it gains 4,000 power.
Nice.
So that's pretty solid. That's also a pretty good card.
Yeah, I like this one because it's got it seems to be the new trend with some of the new grade 3s, Striders and stuff. They'll have rearguard skills too, so you'll be able to stand something else and give it even more plus power. But then I really like this Vanguard, the on ride and on stride skill.
Seems
being able to call
thing.
something. Yeah, well, like I know I have noticed like. It was a while ago that I played against Great Nature, but they had it seemed like some of their problem was if they didn't have field, they wouldn't be able to use some of that. You wouldn't be able to use that on stride skill early. So this fix that feels like this fixes that.
I think that would definitely improve the deck as well. Just that card, obviously we talked about it setting up the field, so that helps out with them. I think it's a good card for the deck. I think they needed it.
Yeah, definite 4 of. I think probably play the other big belly. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not 100% on that, but it's definitely a very solid card. Something the deck definitely needed. And then we'll go ahead and move on to the GR of the set, which is Omniscience Dragon Bearwool. I could be pronouncing that wrong. I apologize. So the skill is act Vanguard Circle once per turn, Soul Blast 1, and choose a face down card from your G zone and turn it face up. Choose all of your front row units, and until end of turn, they get auto Vanguard and Rearguard Circle. Once per turn, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, draw a card. For each face up card in your G zone, they get plus 4,000 power. And at the end of that turn, retire those Rearguards. This thing's good. This is a first stride option, and then only gets more powerful as the game goes on. It's a generic flip too, so you don't have to flip up, which they're not doing with GRs anymore, but you don't have to flip up another copy of it. You can just flip up whatever you want. So you can go right into this and just start automatically pressuring your opponent because they don't want anything to hit, so that you draw, and they'll get plus power for each face-up card in the G zone, which, again, as time progresses, it'll get stronger and stronger, which is just makes it scarier. Thoughts?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's Great Nature. I don't know much about Great Nature. Never really played them.
No, I do think that it's a good card. Yeah, like as you said, when time progresses, I know I've seen a lot of cards that do that kind of similar skill that gain power as soon as the game goes longer. More G units are put face up in the G zone, and then they get powerful because of it. There's actually my glue ball dragon does that, like. For a face-up card or something like the lock or irrelevant, but I think that it's a good card. It definitely with that whole power increase makes it really scary as the game goes on. So it's definitely a good card overall.
Yeah, I think it's a really solid card. Something they definitely needed to.
This set, it seems to be coming out with support that they needed.
Bushy Road's doing give credit where credit's due. Bushy Road's doing a really, really good job with a lot of these new sets lately of balancing cards, but they're also just kind of going balls to the wall. Like, here's some crazy skills that you've been begging for, probably because it's the end of G, so it's like, here you go. I think this is a really good card. So what we'd like to ask too at the end, this is the end of the Great Nature section, so what we'd like to ask is, how do we think, after this sets comes out, how do we think this will impact the metagame? So, what do you guys think?
I think Great Nature will get better metagame-wise, but I don't think they're one of the clans that we will see the most.
Yeah, obviously, it's not going to... It might raise a little higher in its... instead of being in, like, I don't know what tier it would be, maybe tier 2. It might raise a little higher within that category, or might possibly go up to tier 1.5, in my opinion. I think that they're good cards. It's just that I don't think that they'd be necessarily good enough to meet some of these tier 1 decks, you know?
Yeah, with control-based stuff, that'll kind of hurt it too. So we're Link Joker meta, and we're entering a control-based meta. So some of these rearguard reliant decks will be hurt still. But I definitely think it gives it a bump as far as being enough to impact the meta. I'm not too sure.
Yep.
Ready to move on?
Yep.
Move on? Okay, so now we'll be moving on to Nectar, which I know a decent amount about. My wife played the clan for a while. So if you want to start that one off, Matt.
Yep. I will start off with the Grade 2 triple rare Collective Blooming Maiden Kara, or Kira, however you pronounce it.
Cars are well.
It's got a continuous rearguard skill. If you have a Vanguard with Ranunculus in its card name or the Bloom ability, this unit gets 1,000 power and continuous rearguard resist. It's got Bloom skill, auto rearguard once per turn, G-break 1. When your other unit with the same card name as this unit is placed on rearguard, this unit gets 10,000 power and boost until end of turn.
This is awesome.
I believe that this card will up their game a lot. Plus 1,000 power and then plus 10,000, that's 11.
Obviously,
That's a 20k booster right there from the back row. That's a lot of power. Depending on how many copies you have on the field, that's going to be a lot of attacks.
Yeah, this will be. This is continuous rearguard circle. So as long as you have Asha as your grade 3, which you will, you'll have. It'll be a 10k, which means it can't get hit by the 9ks and stuff like that. So no one can try to poke it, and then it has resist on top of that. So and that's during. That's just all the time. So that's.
Lock can't touch it.
Lock can't touch it, and
usually Cockroach wouldn't touch it. Overlord might.
My Denial Griffin can't touch it, but the Destiny could. So that's. I love the Destiny. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, it's a very very solid card, and yeah, you call it, which with Bloom is it with the deck is really easy to do. Call another copy, and then it gets 10,000 in boost.
Which obviously that would be for all of them.
Yeah.
All copies would gain that same ability.
No, the ones that would be on field.
Right.
When your other unit with the same name. So this would be on field. You superior call another one, then it gets. This one gets the skill. But it's still that is ridiculous. That's really good. Definite 4 of in the deck. Very solid card.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah. Improving the theme, obviously, definitely.
And makes it it helps it a lot too with, especially like we were just saying, with the control meta and Link Joker stuff. So good card.
Play 4.
Call.
But anyway, moving on. Next is the Grade 3 Ranunculus in Phantasmic Blue.
Super Saiyan Blue Asha.
God, Sands. Okay, so its skill is Auto Vanguard Circle. At the beginning of your ride phase, choose up to 1 card from your drop zone and circles other than Vanguard Circle. Put them to the bottom of the deck in any order. If 2 cards were put, draw a card, choose up to 1 card from your hand, and call it to rearguard. And its other skill is an Auto Vanguard Circle. Counterblast 1. When your G unit strides, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 normal unit with the Bloom ability, call it to rearguard, shuffle your deck, and if the number of your units with the same card name as that unit is 2 or more, countercharge 1, soul charge 1. So obviously with that stride skill alone is pretty good, but on top of that, it's got that beginning of the ride phase skill as well, which I think that one's pretty epic, actually.
Counters lock.
Yeah, it gets around lock for sure. You draw a card, and then you call the other to rearguard.
Just because you're having to deal with Link Joker, we're sorry. We're gonna let you.
They're giving.
We gave Link Joker too much stuff, so let's go ahead and let you send a locked card
So
back.
it's definitely a really good card.
Draw a card on top of it.
Definitely out of
and then superior call.
that Asha is definitely the best one out of the Grade 3.
I like it.
So.
I like it a lot. If my wife was still playing, and she's not playing Asha anymore, but if she was playing that, I'd definite 4 of, and then 2 to 3 of the Searing Heart Asha for sure. The other Bloom one. I think this is
Epic.
I think this is a really good card.
Yeah, I think
It's crazy good.
I think it's good. I really don't know much about Neo Nectar.
Definitely would improve their theme as well with the Bloom ability, just because both skills are just called. Because I want to. You know.
Thanks. Now I can do what I need to do.
So it sets them up
And,
for their
yeah.
skills.
It could recycle Sentinels too as well. So
Anyway.
Okay, we'll get into the GR of the set. Flower Princess of 4 Seasons, Velhamina. I'll already kind of spoil it right now. This card's awesome. So, Auto Vanguard Circle, Counterblast 1. Choose a face-down card from your G-Zone, turn it face-up. Again, a generic flip. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 Grade 2 or less normal units with the Bloom ability of the same card name, call into Rearguard Circle in different rows, and shuffle your deck. Then Continuous Vanguard Circle, Generation Break 4. All of the rearguards in your front row get plus 5,000 power, plus 1 critical. That's awesome.
That's epic.
yeah,
Obviously, it sets up for that GB4 skill as well.
Yeah, and
That's
yeah.
epic.
kind of reminds me.
Giving rearguards crits, it's like they're borrowing from Dimension Police almost.
I was gonna say, kind of reminds me of the Yasuye strike coming out in a couple weeks.
So this is getting
Yes.
better.
Yeah, except it's a lot better.
Bloom, yeah, and with Bloom, you're gonna be powering
More
up
power.
you're gonna be massively powering
That
up your
5K
rearguards.
is just because they can. You don't need it.
Here's 5K, no reason. You're welcome.
And if you got that 20k booster, that grade 2 we just talked about,
That's
it's
Yeah.
25k
serious
booster,
column right
that's
there.
a serious
That's a
column.
very
That-
threatening
just
column, and
those
it's got
three
plus crit.
working in tandem is
And
a
plus
good
crit.
combo
Yeah.
on its own.
Like Brad said, plus a crit. Late game, I don't know about that.
Plus a crit to rearguards is a pretty busted ability.
You're
So
welcome.
that's really good. I'm only impressed with this stride. I'm only impressed with this stride. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to, that's it for Neo Nectar, so we'll move on to the question, which is how do we think Neo Nectar will impact the meta now?
Obviously, it will get around lock.
Yeah, it will get around locks, so I think
Powerhouse like crazy.
I honestly think I could see Neo Nectar competing with some of the top decks now. Just not like, I wouldn't say the top decks, but like
1.5.
I'd say 1.5 decks at least.
They got a lot of power though, and that's scary.
They got a lot of power, crits the rear guards, and it's just insane to deal with.
That would definitely scare me.
Well, like I was saying, if you got that one grade 2 and another one right here, that's a 50k column with the stride skill that we just talked about.
They can get more.
Plus a crit.
They can get up
that's,
to plus 100k, no problem.
that's a lot of power to deal with. I can really see them competing 1.5 at least.
Yeah, with some of these resist stuff and specifically pretty much, countering lock in a way. I do see it getting up there a little bit. Neo Nectar has always kind of been on that on the fence a little bit. It's almost wants to get pushed over into the meta, but just hasn't been able to for various reasons. I could see this could push it either way. It could really push it over to being an actual meta and competitive deck. I'm excited to see what happens. The set drops on Friday in Japan, so we'll see. We'll probably start seeing tournament results real soon. So that'll be fun to see and see what happens with it. I think it could be 1.5. I really do.
Easily. Just because all that power alone and then that stride, that's beast.
Yep.
So yeah, I would definitely be scared of it if I ever saw it.
All right, now we will be getting on to Mega Colony. No, go inside, buddy. We'll be getting on to Mega Colony, which is the big one of the set. Intimidating Mutant King Darkface Alcides.
Arcades? I don't know.
I don't have no idea.
You guys go ahead and talk about
Right.
that one.
Its skill is auto. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When this unit is placed on Vanguard or Rear Guard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a column, rest all of your opponent's rear guards in that column, and all those units cannot stand during your opponent's next stand phase. And then it's got to continue as Vanguard Rear Guard G-Break 2 Dark Device. During the battle that this unit attacked, this unit gets 10,000 power and your opponent cannot intercept. That grade 3 is awesome.
That's
in my
pretty
opinion.
epic.
I mean,
Just the
first
first
off,
skill.
First off, he makes it where your opponent can't stand a column.
Which obviously, if it's placed on Vanguard or Rear Guard, which is even more epic. So if they place it on Vanguard, it's... Oh, man.
Then your opponent's Vanguard can't stand
That's
that
pretty
next
scary.
turn. That's pretty scary, to be honest. And then the second skill gets 10,000 power, and your opponent cannot intercept. If your opponent doesn't have a very big hand when you use that skill, that's going to be a lot.
Epic.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I think this is going to be used as the back. As the funny part is, this is the backup. This is the backup grade 3 that you're probably going to be playing, because the next one is probably going to be the one that you're going to be wanting to ride. This has the rear guard skill again. What we were saying before, like it seems what they like to be doing right now. But yeah, this is a really, really solid card, and this is just a rear. This is one that you're wanting to play on rear guard. So,
And then again, that also kind of has a way around lock too, because if you ride him as Vanguard, then your opponent, the skill would still go off. Your opponent, who, if they're playing Link Joker, they wouldn't be able to stand their Vanguard. That could do a lot to a Link Joker deck.
Or just decks in
stand the
general.
Vanguard.
It's got the Vanguard or Rear Guard skill, so if you place it on Vanguard, all your opponent's units in that column cannot stand during next stand turn.
Oh crap! I don't think I read that.
Yeah. I think that was
Definitely
reading
Phone's
it.
being jank right now.
Beast.
It'd be
Oh,
insane.
your
Sorry, I
opponent's
had to,
very
yeah, I had to leave, so I had to, my son came out, so yeah,
Your opponent's rear guards in that column can't stand.
yeah, it's just rear guard, so
Is
it's
it
not,
just Rear Guard?
Yeah, it's not.
Oh,
It's not very
alright. I read that wrong.
Was
man.
it
I
be
thought it was
too good?
Yeah, I
That'd
was
be
gonna say
too
I thought it
scary.
was Vanguard.
Well,
or
they
Rear
no, they
Guard.
do have had skills before that will let them
Right.
not that their Vanguard can't
Right.
stand,
Yeah.
and that means if you stride, your stride goes into rest, which is just ridiculous. So you wouldn't stride, obviously. You just pretty much end your turn. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one.
Alright, the next grade 3 for Mega Colony is Evil Governor Darkface Gradora.
This is the
Which-
queen
This is the one that you're
that
going to
you've
want
been
to
hearing about forever.
Auto Vanguard Circle once per turn, Counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on Vanguard or when your G unit strides, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a column and your opponent cannot call units to the rear guard of the column during the next turn. Obviously, it even says they can't superior call as well. And then its other skill is Auto Vanguard Circle, Generation Break 1. Soul Blast 1. At the beginning of your ride phase, you may pay the cost. If you do, your opponent chooses a face-up card from his or her damage zone, turns it face down, and you may countercharge one. So it screws over your opponent.
Yeah, it
as well.
screws over your opponent.
This
with
deck
Counter
just seems to
Blast.
be like it wants its just goal is to screw your opponent over in as many ways as it can.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, this is-
field and now damage zone.
Now you can't stand your stuff.
Ridiculous.
You can't call your stuff.
And you
And
can't.
I might hate this clan more than I hate Kagero.
What I I do.
Like, just because that skill alone.
Yeah, that's
I like the fact that
pretty great.
it pretty much counterblasts your own damage, and then you get to recover the cost. It's like, thanks. That's awesome.
And if your opponent's playing a deck that's counterblast heavy too,
That's definitely gonna screw them.
that's definitely gonna screw them over.
This card's amazing.
Doesn't sound like much. Like, it's got a small text, but it's definitely worth the read.
You don't
awesome.
need a large text to be awesome.
Just something simple like that can immediately make it epic. Makes me want to cry.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to the GR of the set, which is Poison Sickle Mutant Deity Overwhelm.
Its name is overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. Okay, so skill is act Vanguard Circle once per turn, counterblast 1, and choose a face down card from your G zone, turn it face up. Again, generic. Draw up to the same number of cards as the number of your opponent's rear guards in rest, and if the number of your opponent's rear guards in rest is 1 or less, this unit gets +1 crit, +1 drive until end of turn. And then continuous Vanguard Circle, Generation Break 3 Dark Device. All of your units get +2,000 for each face down card in your opponent's damage zone.
Mm-hmm.
This thing's awesome.
Yeah,
So obviously
that's
That's
scary.
awesome.
Draws.
Yeah, it
massive
draws.
power.
It gains power from your opponent's counterblasted damage.
The one thing, though, from what I read, or what he read, was their rear guards in rest has to be 1 or less for the quad drive.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it's
Right.
pretty much it's all it is it's like, okay, so it's punishing you no matter what you do.
Yeah.
If your
If you
opponent,
don't play rear
if I'm
guards.
playing Mega Colony and my opponent played a bunch of rear guards, I can draw like they got 3 rear guards. I can draw 3 cards because they were stupid enough to play rear guards. And if they were stupid enough not to play rear guards, then I punish them instead, and I get plus a drive check and plus a crit. So I don't know.
It's an either or skill, which is not usual.
That's terrifying. Like that, they can go into this first stride too. So if I play Kagros, so I don't really hardcore rush or nothing. So if I only have the 1 rear guard or something, they're gonna punish me, and they're gonna make sure it doesn't stand. They're gonna make sure that I can't call in like another column, and then they're going to draw off of that 1 rear guard, and then they're gonna get plus a crit plus a drive check. That's terrifying. And then the GB3, it'll give +2 for each of your opponent's face down cards in the damage zone. And because Gridora will flip down something, is like automatic plus power, and it's just all about
Hate
punishing you.
these cards more than I have ever hated any cards ever.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to leave camera and cry in my corner.
He's gonna go cry in a corner for a little while. Yeah. So what do you? We already kind of discussed what do you think of the card, but
Definitely, it will
it definitely
improve
helped
them.
that.
Yes,
Absolutely,
I can.
positively.
To be completely honest, Mega Colony hasn't had a lot of good support. I know most of their cards used to be on hit skills, but after this pack, I can really see them being a competitive deck.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
I'd be surprised if they aren't competitive. I'd be surprised if they aren't tier 1, to be honest, because these are just really
Punishment
solid
all
cards.
out, no matter which way you want to go. You're screwed.
Yeah, it is going to punish you no matter what you do, and they're going to enjoy it. But when this set was announced, there's always a clan that ends up getting like the short end of the stick.
Yeah, shafted.
And going into this set, I was all like, oh, Mega Colony is definitely going to get the short end of the stick. Nope. Mega Colony got the most busted stuff of the set. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Ridiculous stuff.
I think, to be honest...
He's crying. He's crying.
To be honest, I don't think any of the clans got shafted in this set. I think they're all pretty great.
I think Great Nature got the least amount of stuff, but I like the least amount of really, really good stuff. But it's still really solid things. Like we were just saying earlier too, like how they Busher has been doing a very solid job lately.
Except for with Murakumo.
Okay, so just to get a difference of opinion too, what are your guys' kind of thoughts on Zoa?
I think
Zoa is beast. I don't care.
I think Zoa is really good.
I don't know. The max power is 100k.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well,
99, 99.9.
Yeah.
That's crazy high. You have to guard it no matter what.
Yeah.
Sure, you can get around it with a PG and all, but it seems to be like I know a lot of clans have their sentinels that either draw or the one that you really want to have, preferably, is the ones that recycle. And I know obviously it'd be easy for them to stop that one attack when they recycle their sentinel cards. But the problem is for all the clans that can't do that, then unless you're saving PGs for that card, then you're screwed. Like, you'd have to guard with your whole hand, and then you got to deal with the Zoa itself, possibly another rear guard. It's definitely amazing.
And that's why we get other opinions, because I don't like it.
Shut up. It's crazy good. Better than the other two for sure.
Yeah, I think this is the best one that's came out so far.
Drachma's hot garbage.
To be completely honest, from here, I only see them getting better. The next one that comes out is what, Stargates?
Stargate, which
I honestly see Stargates being busted. And the reason I say that is so far with the Xerath Dragons, it seems like they're kind of getting a little bit of stuff from every clan, like Drachma's retire, buying, like that. I feel like with Stargate, it's going to be...
Lock, restand.
Yeah, lock, restand. You got D-Police, which is guard restrict.
Guard restriction or guard break.
Or guard break.
That would be amazing. I would take it. I don't care if it's $300. It's mine.
We'll speculate about all that stuff another time.
So, good set.
Overall good set. Again, I was just saying with Xerath Dragons, like, that you got... I think this is the better one of the three, but you got 3 steaming piles of
no.
You got 3 steaming piles of crap. Which one's the better piece of crap?
He's wrong.
It's this one.
If you comment on the video, just say you're wrong. At Brad.
I don't care. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions.
But
that's
mine
fine.
is the only one that's accurate and worth listening to.
That's going to be it for us.
Are you ready, kids?
I can't.
All right, so we will see you later, and please like and subscribe, and we will be posting more content. Jeez, we'll be posting more content later in the week, a bunch of matches and stuff. So we will see you later.
Peace out.